Ladies and gentlemen, it was a few days ago where I did a video on the Kawasaki like symptoms that are showing up in children. It's not exactly like it. There are some differences in what these children have in Kawasaki, but this is just the way they are able to describe it to the best of their ability right now. So this thing is so new, they have really no name for it, but they know it stems from coronavirus. So this is the daily news. I believe when I did this story, it was about 73 children with it. Now it's up to 102 New York children afflicted by mysterious coronavirus ailment. This is according to Cuomo. This is the Daily News, May 13th, 2020. More than 100 children in the state now have been diagnosed with a mysterious inflammatory ailment tied to coronavirus, Cuomo said Wednesday, as he allowed another upstate region to reopen this week. The governor warned parents to be on guard for the illness that has now sickened 102 children in New York, killing 3. A shocking 70% of the children needed treatment in intensive care units, and 17% of them needed to be intubated, he said, revealing new details about the severity of illness. Nearly half of the kids, all of whom tested positive for either coronavirus or the antibodies that showed they had COVID-19, are still hospitalized. This is a parent's worst nightmare, Cuomo said. We thought that children were not especially affected by the virus, to find out that they might be, and it might be several weeks later. This is truly disturbing. Yeah, because that's what they said all along. They were saying that it appears that the children didn't get it. But when you really think about it, how could the children not have it? They're exposed to the adults with it. So how would they not have it? That's impossible. The ailment, which causes inflammation of blood vessels to and from the heart, is similar to a rare condition called Kawasaki disease. So it's similar, but not exactly like it. In a sign that the condition may have been overlooked previously, 14 states and 5 countries in Europe have told New York health officials that they have now identified similar cases. See, there's no way this is just in New York, y'all. There's no way. Even European countries are admitting that they saw this and they overlooked it. That's why I'm saying this virus is so new. They are still learning about this. You know, when you think about this, when it broke out in Wuhan, and back in February, when we were just beginning to hear about it over in Wuhan, we didn't hear them talking about what the children were getting. In fact, I remember reading articles and doing videos, and they were saying the kids were pretty much unaffected by it. But now that you see this, that couldn't possibly be true. Speaking in far upstate Watertown, Cuomo announced that the North Country region will be allowed to start reopening on Friday. The area encompassing, okay, all right, I'm just going to go down. There is talking about, parts of that area had a decrease in coronavirus. That's all it's saying. All of the regions are far from New York City. It is unclear when the city or suburbs might start reopening. Cuomo said 166 people in New York died Tuesday of coronavirus, a number that is continuing to drop steadily from a high of about 800. The governor announced that New York's Democratic lawmakers plan to introduce a bill in Congress that would bar corporations that get coronavirus stimulus assistance from laying off workers. The so called American First Act would extend current rules in the first round of corona stimulus that only prevents dumping employees until September. Cuomo said that some corporations are already planning massive layoffs once the deadline passes. These corporations ain't no damn good, so rotten. And, well, never mind. Let me go on. I can say plenty about that. Cuomo's daily remarks were translated by sign language for the first time after advocates for the hearing impaired threatened a lawsuit. He told reporters in the region that some is home to many of the state's biggest prisons, that inmates were being closely monitored to guard against outbreaks of the deadly virus behind bars. Correction officers who have been tested for antibodies surprisingly show a lower rate of infection than the general public. Cuomo called that a sign that the virus is contained for now in prisons. Cuomo sought to stress that New York's reopening process is being guided by data and public health science. He noted that several criteria that determine whether a region can reopen were set by the Federal Center for Disease Control, echoing the warnings of Dr. Anthony Fauci, who himself is in isolation. Cuomo took a shot at the president, President Trump, and some governors who said they were rushing to reopen in defiance of the warnings of their own public health experts. If people are not taking precautions, you have gatherings, the virus will transfer, and you'll see a spike in hospitalizations, and you'll see a spike in deaths, Cuomo said. The key is if you open too soon, talking directly to New Yorkers in the upstate regions, that will start reopening. Cuomo warned officials to keep an eye on the data to make sure there are no spikes in infection rates. He also urged regular folks to make reading their local infection and testing rates part of their daily routine. You get up, you get your coffee, and look at how we're doing. He vowed to re-shut down any region that experiences a relapse. It's not like we're reopening, period, Cuomo said. People can get cavalier. They get cocky. They forget the pain we've been through. He's right. But I don't think anything should be reopened. Y'all know how I feel. So these children right now are cropping up with this. They are not within New York City. They are in the regions around the city, outside of the actual city. So this is scary for the children. It's no telling what this thing will do to these kids and what the long-term effects will be on them. And like I said, they're still learning about this thing. There's still many things they don't know at all. But y'all, please tell me what you think. 102 New York children afflicted by a corona-like inflammation. I guess this has to be some kind of virus. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.